So hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'll be doing a review of Put a Ring on It season 2 episode 1. And yeah, I watched last season episode and I liked, so I thought for this season I would actually do a review. So I hope you guys enjoy. So to start off, we have three beautiful couples, and we have Dr. Nicole, and we're meeting them for the first time. And the first couple we're meeting is, so our first couple is Loranda and Sean, and they have been together for 3 years now. And Loranda said that they met through Instagram. Sean slid in her DMs, and they went out. Said that they went to Dave and Buster's and they had a good time. So Sean says he does hosting. He says that he's in the entertainment. He does hosting, acting, stand-up. And he says what is holding him back, supposedly, is that he wants to be a bit more financially stable. But I feel like guys use that as an excuse. They want to be more financially stable. Like, when are you going to be financially stable? How much money do you want to have saved up before you say you're financially stable? And Shonda says what she hears from all of that is a bunch of excuses. And Shonda just said she's not willing to be in a relationship for years. She's not willing to wait forever and ever. Our next couple is Darian and Alexia. Alexia said that she is a retired basketball player, and Darian is from a former, I think they said former, or he is a part of a rap group. And she said they met when she was in college, where she was working at a club and he came in with his group. And Alexia said the best part about being in a relationship with Darian is his energy. They're able to have fun together. And Darian said Alexa treats him like a king, like nobody has ever done before. Alexa said that they have been on and off for about 14 years, in terms of her traveling for professional basketball and him doing his rap career. So Darian says that Alexa is a wife material, but he has seen so many marriages. When people get married, that's when they start to be destroyed, and he doesn't want that. Just to get married, only to have the relationship being destroyed. But I feel like marriage is a risk though, and if they have been like good, or being good persons to each other and not ignoring red flags, then it's gonna be the same thing in marriage, just that if they aren't living together, that they would be living together, and no persons would be in respectable roles. We both be providing, or he'd be providing, however the relationship fits for them. And I mean, if it has been fitting for them before getting married, it should be fitting for them when they get married, unless somebody changes the entire approach and they want to do something completely different from what they normally do. Then that would be a different, or somebody changes your attitude completely. If not, then I think things should be good and they should get better after being married, in my opinion. And Alexa says that he should definitely know now, because they've been together since they've been in college. She's now 34, and so she's saying that he needs to decide, so if they're gonna be together or if they should go their separate ways. And the third and final couple is Eric and Jessica, and they met on Instagram and have been together for 4 years. And like the first couple, she said that he slid in her DMs, and she said for their date, they went out on go-karts and did more fun activities and stuff like that. Jessica says she believes Eric is her soulmate, and Eric says he definitely thinks that she's the one. And Jessica says their relationship is at a crossroad because of trust. Eric says that when he met Jessica, he was in the NFL playing football, and Jessica says that when he was playing football, that she would get jealous, and Eric said she would be territorial. and that Eric said that they've had a few bumps on the road, and I feel like that's the thing. Um, when persons are popular or well known, that if they don't have that level of trust from you, there's always going to be trust issues. Or so let me say, I look at it two ways. If your partner who is the famous one, we know that they're going to be getting attention from guys and they're going to be getting attention from girls. I mean, and then so the male are getting attention from females, the females, if they're famous, getting attention from the males. And I feel like if your partner does not set boundaries and make you feel comfortable, you're gonna always feel insecure. And then if you are not secure in yourself and believe what your partner says, then you'll always feel insecure. So if one your partner isn't making you feel secure and setting boundaries between you and other females or you and other males, then and not only will you feel insecure, but also not necessarily you don't have to feel insecure in that situation, but it can feel as though the person does not see you as important, or they don't make you as important as they should, and that sometimes it's not a good feeling to have. So Dr. Nicole told them that on this show that in order to get through, they're going to be dating other persons, and then everybody's reaction, which I'm pretty sure by the second season everybody knows what they're signing up for. Probably the persons in the first season didn't know, because when I watched Alive, I think it was Shay from season 1, she was saying that she thought it was just going to be counseling, probably some one-on-one, until them get through, but they didn't know that they would be dating other people until they got onto the show. But I'm sure if they watch season 1, persons in season 2 would know that by now. And so she asked them to write down what are some of the things that are a no-no, that are boundaries that their partner should not cross. And some of the persons said no hugging, no exchange of numbers, no exchange of Instagram. Somebody says no licking. And he said something about holes. Somebody says no groping off the butt, no kissing. Somebody said no kissing, no licking, no sticking. Right. And after they wrote that down, Dr. Nicole basically told them to rip it up, because that's not gonna work for the show. They're going to be pushing the boundaries to the limit, which I kind of don't agree with. Which, I mean, your partner should know boundaries by now, because they've been together in 3-year relationship, 4 years relationship, and I feel like you should know boundaries when in a relationship without being told, Like, why would you be flirting with somebody else if you're dating somebody seriously? Like, I get, like, talking on a date, getting to know the person, but not, like, flirting. That's a no. If you're gonna do that, then shows you're not respectable to me. Shows that you're just dumb. Or if you're gonna be grabbing up on somebody and kissing, like, why would you do that? You're on TV, 1. That's mad disrespectful, 2. And 3, you shouldn't be doing that at all. I understand, like, probably a slight hug, but not like a 5-10 minute second hug. Like, come on now, hug can't be that good. And so I kind of get where she's going with that, because at the end of the day, if they do that, then you might know that that person's not going to be faithful to you, in my opinion. And so I kind of get where Dr. Nicole is coming from with that. So Sean says that in There Be No Boundaries, he's a bit worried based on past relationship that he has experienced. So that's going to make him a bit insecure. Eric says if another man is getting too close to his woman, he's not too comfortable with that. But Eric, would you be getting close to another girl? Let's see. Sean says that he's a lover and he's not for the streets. And that's what, as I stated before, Dr. Nicole said it's about seeing if you can trust each other. So the first ones to go on dates are the men, and they're actually starting in the first episode, so they'll be the first one going on dates. So one of the first ladies we see who will be on the date with one of the men, her name is Shamara. She says that she's looking for a husband. She's ready to settle down and have babies. And so Shamara and Eric, they'll be going on a date. And physical wise, she looks beautiful. Her outfit is nice. She came to the house actually where Eric and I don't remember her name is living at. And we're seeing her reaction. She's like, oh, okay. So her name is Jessica. So she is she's looking at the young lady like, nah, 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 you're not about to take my man. That's what you're not gonna do. That's why her facial expression is like, everything's like, introduce yourself. She's like, no, I'm not. That's a bit petty. I don't know. Is it petty though? Or is it just like true feelings? I don't know. So she's saying that she knows Eric and he's a sweet talker, and you know, she fell in love with that. And so it's easy for another woman for him to sweet talk her and for her to fall in love. But that's the thing. Why would Eric be sweet talking another girl to that extent on your level for her to be falling in love? Like, he shouldn't be doing that in his own head. That should be a boundary that he should not cross, in my opinion. Do you guys think she's a bit insecure? She's like, you have an hour. And then Eric turned to the young lady and said, do you have a curfew? And she said no. And he said, oh, we're gonna be out. I mean, if she's demanding an hour, I mean, do you guys think that's insecure? She's like, oh, don't play with me. Do you guys think he cheated before on her? That makes her insecure about him going on a date with her. Now granted, I'm not saying she's insecure because he's going out. I'm just saying based on her reaction and her demanding, like, 1 hour, don't play with me, blah blah blah. Do you guys think he cheated on her before? Okay, so I was right. So there we see Eric and Shonda talking, and you know, she's like, you know, you're good looking, and right, so she was asking Eric if this was his first blind date. Wait, Eric asked her, Shonda if this is her first blind date, and she said yes. She didn't know what to expect. And then she said, you know, you're handsome. And then they started laughing. And so she's asking, how did he end up in this situation? And so he's saying, you know, he's not ready to propose. They've had issues. And so Shonda went straight for the big question, honey. She said, has there been infidelity? And Eric said, that's actually how we started. I had her, I had somebody else, I had somebody else. See, child. And then Shonda says, that's what Shonda is saying, that's what she can handle. Player. Me either. I don't like that. And Shonda says, that's one thing about her. She asked from the beginning, and all she wants is honesty. And she says men think women can't take honesty, and Eric says that women can't take honesty. Honestly, I prefer honesty than to be blindsided. I like to know than not to know. Like, just give me the news and let me know. Or if I ask if you're dating somebody else, let me know so I can decide if I want to date you or not. Like, you should present me with that option. If you're dating other people, let me know and let me decide if I want to be a part of you dating other people. If I don't want to be a part, I don't think you should let me be a part or try to convince me otherwise. I think that's a decision for everyone to make on their own. And so Eric goes ahead and asks her, you know, how soon in a relationship would you indicate to a guy that he needs to start proposing and stuff like that. And she says that she wouldn't thinks she needs to do that. The guy, because if she does that, then she thinks it's not genuine. Do you guys think you need to put a limit to a guy as to how long you need to date for before, or he should propose within 2 years or 5 years, or within 9 months or within a year? Do you guys think you should indicate? I in my honest opinion, I'm gonna state like when I would like to be married by, but I'm not gonna say, oh, I must be married, because say for instance I want to get married by 26, right? And I meet this guy when I'm 25-ish, almost 26. Like, that's not realistic for me to put that on a guy to propose to me if we're not together. Like, you know, like I'm seeing red flags, or he's seeing red flags in me or something. I don't know. Or if he doesn't think I'm the one, or I don't think he's the one. Like, I don't think, or if, you know, circumstances and we're in a long distance and stuff like that, I don't think I should put that time pressure on him or anybody to propose. But for me personally, I'm gonna probably, you know, if we're talking about future and stuff, you know, I'm gonna ask what age you would, because I feel like everybody, even though some people say, oh, whenever, some people, in my opinion, like have a mind to say, oh, married by 30, married by 35. You must have a number, at least, not must happen, but at least, you know, by 25, by 28, by 30, in my opinion. That's what I think. What do you guys think? And so Shamar is looking at her necklace that's on Eric's neck, and it says, I want it all. And he's like, oh, you want this? And he said, I like what I see. And she said, oh, I like what I see too. And I'm like, boy, if you So we have Daria and Alexa next, and you know, she basically asked him, do you think somebody can pull you away from me? And he said no. But he said no, and then he says they need to try to. How do you guys feel about him saying that? And then he said, oh, there's no way if she's really ugly. I feel like this is already starting off bad for me. I don't know, this energy starting off bad for me with him. We'll see. Oh, we see Kai walking in. She is pretty body, yaddy yaddy. Slim waist, big booty. Oh no, she's not ugly, alright. She's pretty. And with the body. Now we need to know the attitude that she has. Oh, she was nice. She came in, she hugged Darian, and she greeted Alexa, and she's like, oh, you're pretty. And Alexa just like, thank you. Not even you're pretty too. Nothing of such sort. Darian seems like a fun guy. Like, he goes on a lot of jokes. Alexa is like, oh, you shouldn't be this excited about going on a date, honey. Just means something is up. Oh, come on. He just seems like he's very fun, in my opinion. And the next couple we have is actually Sean and LaRonda. And you know, LaRonda is asking Sean what they're planning to do. He's saying, you know, outdoors. She's like, oh, so you're gonna take your shirt off? He's like, if it gets hot. She's like, out there is not hot at all. And she's like, so who's walking in the front, who's walking in the back? Sis. He said side by side. And she's like, is there gonna be separation? And his date is Rachel. And she says looking for a funny guy, an honest guy. She wants to be the Beyonce. It's too is Jay-Z. Well, not really, baby. Because Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce, and we don't want that. We don't want that at all. We want some Russell, Wilson, and Sierra. That's what we want, honey. And Ron and Shonda and LaRonda are the first couple I see to meet them together. When Shamara came to Eric alone went to the door because Jessica's face was all screwed up. When Kai came to meet Darian, Alexa was sitting on the couch because he was being petty. And LaRonda actually went to the door with Sean to meet Rachel. So let's see. So we see that LaRonda actually hugged Rachel and Rachel hugged Sean. So it's a huggy. I think she was just being friendly, so not because she said that she was a bit nervous seeing Rachel
Okay, but question. Why is Darian on a date and having his hand around Kai's neck? That's wrong to me. I understand you're dating other people and boundaries are off, but that's wrong to me. Like, he's in a committed relationship. Why do you have your hand around her neck? I understand walking side by side. You shouldn't even be holding hands, but you're holding your hand is around her neck. See, now he's holding hands. And so to start Darren's conversation, he's asking Kai what she listens to. She said she listens to R&B, rap. Not sure if I mentioned, but Darren said that he was a part of the rap group Phil Mav. Do you guys know that group? And then she compliments him and says that he has a beautiful smile. And then she asks him, how do you feel about being here with me? And she said it feels awkward. He says it doesn't feel awkward. And then Darian said that Alexis made him feel comfortable when she held his hand. Oh boy. And then he's like, you fit the criteria of what a celebrity would like. And then he says, maybe because it's new, he's feeling a spark with Kai. You're feeling a spark. Why? It's only the first date. Well, even those sparks can happen on any day. And then, I don't know. Why is he giving me? Did I not say that he's rubbing me the wrong way? Did I not say that? If I didn't, say it again. And Kai says, so are you a cheater? And he said, no, I'm not a cheater. So he says when he's in a relationship, he's in a relationship. And Kai says that she's faithful. She likes you. And there's no one else but you. And when she loves really hard. And she asks, are you afraid to express your feeling? And he said no. And now here's the mess part. Kai asks because he said that, he's not free to express his feeling. And then she said, oh, so if I kissed you, would that be okay? And then he said, would I want you to kiss me? Yes. And then he's like, but I hope you don't. What? He said he didn't know she would come that hard. He's scared of what he might do. I thought he said he didn't cheat, but he's giving me like kind of feeble, not firm and strong. Like he's easily swayed. You sure he's never cheated before? Or is this just him being expressive and being himself and being completely dead ass honest? What do you guys think? And Kai's like, so do you want to be free with me? My girl is laying everything out. Kai, she ain't holding nothing back. And then we're seeing Sean and Rachel actually in a car. They seem to be having, a jolly time. They're in a car. Sean says that he used to be in radio, and then they're joking a bit, and then she said, oh, I've heard that I have a radio voice, and she's pretending like she is in a radio show, and that Sean has just called in. I'll see that he's saying, oh, what dating advice did he give, blah blah blah, and they're joking and they seem to be jolly and easy flowing with each other. And so Rachel is asking, what is it that Sean and Lorenda have going on? And he says, keeping it 100, we're not perfect, and sometimes they have situations and not necessarily drama, but it's not necessarily ideal, and certain things they don't agree on, and that he wants to be compatible with her. But I'm like, dating all those years, don't you know if you're compatible with the person or not, or if the person is compatible with you or not? I mean, is that just an excuse though for you not to get married? Because within a couple months, if somebody is nagging you, or if somebody is literally putting red flags in your face and you are just avoiding them, in my opinion. He says with Lorenda, it has been a struggle for them to communicate, and so he's trying to work on that, because he says he wants somebody to openly communicate, to be free, and to be honest. So Sean says that he's ready to give his all to one woman. Wonder why not LaRonda? Well, wonder what she's holding back on, if she's the one holding back. And we see Sean sweating a bit and Rachel damping his face, cool him down. So now we're back with Alexa and Darian, and they're talking, and she's asking how was the date, and he's like, well, it went completely different than I expected. I thought it was going to be a piece of cake. I feel like Darian does not know how to express himself. Like, listen, I'm going to let you guys listen to this conversation before a bit and listen to what he's going to say.
You like her? You need to let me finish. What she had on, what she
said, do you like her? That's a simple yes or no. And he said, let me finish. First of all, that's going to piss me off because you're not saying yes or no. I like straightforward answers. Let's continue.
Yep, white. She was well put together.
See, now he's getting into too much detail. He's like, what she smelled like. She was well put together. Like, boy, just get to the point.
Girls with breasts like that, they bring me in the breast.
And he's saying girls that normally, because she's, as I said, she's bodied. She has both small waist, big breasts. And he's saying, girls that normally look like that, they aren't very, smarty. And he's saying when they look like that, girls with big breasts and big butts normally like girls who don't have big breasts and butts outshine them in the educational part or being educated part. But he's basically saying, she's both. She has the brain and the body. And I feel like, where are you getting into all that details? Like, I don't want to hear all of that. Just, like, why would you say that?
Usually girls with booty like that, girls shaped like that and look like that, they make the ones who weren't like that look bad. You kiss her? Let me finish.
See, and again, she said, did you kiss her? He said again, let me finish. Like, can you just answer the question? Come on. I'd be pissed off if I was Alexa as well.
You doing now what she don't do.
And there he is comparing her. What? He said, you're doing now what she doesn't do. But she's not your girl. So she's not going to get into that. This is a brand new, fresh relationship with Kai. Yeah, but you know her for 24 hours, but you're comparing her to your girl and saying, oh, she doesn't ask questions like that. Like, what? Any girl's going to ask questions if you've been on a date with another girl. Come on now.
Compare me to her.
I ain't comparing you. I'm just trying to check.
45
you can't do that.
Okay, get to it.
She don't do that.
See, and there he is again. She don't do that. Oh, come on. Darian, you're pissing me off, and I'm not in a relationship. And let's listen to this part where he's gonna say,
get to it.
She don't do that. I turned down a lot of things that I could have did.
You should have done.
Don't say that, cause
why would he say that? I turned down a lot of things that I could have done. Like, I'm guessing he's talking about he could have kissed her. Because Kai mentioned about, if we kissed, whatever. Like, what is wrong with this guy? Already I'm annoyed by him. Like, he doesn't seemingly know how to talk to her, honestly. And then, guys, listen to this.
The chance ain't out the door, so don't do that.
Why would he say that the chance is not out the door? Is this guy dumb, stupid, or dumb? Because why would you say that to your girl? Like, even if you felt that way, like, you could possibly kiss her, like, don't say that to her. Don't compare her to another girl. Like, he's talking about, her breast and her butt, and she smells oh so good. Like, just how he's talking about her, Like, nothing is wrong with saying, oh, you know, she smells really nice, and we had a really funny conversation. But just how he's like, and her breasts and her butts, and usually girls that normally have big breasts and big butt, they don't have brains, and they outshine you girls, blah blah blah. Like, what? Get your thoughts together. And now we see that the couples have rejoined, and they're with Dr. Nicole. So everybody's going to talk about, the guys actually are going to talk about their dates. And so Dr. Nicole asked Darian first, how was his date? He said it went good. He kept Alexa in mind, and he kept his commitment in mind. And he said, you know, his date with Kai reminded him of having fun and being out there. And he said it reminded him of what he liked. So are you saying Alexa doesn't remind you of what you like? Like, what are you saying? And he says it's reminding him that he doesn't have that. He had it in the beginning, but some of it, and then it faded. And then now we're seeing Alexa kind of being upset, and she's saying, oh, so somebody is showing you something in one day, and we've been together for 10 years, and you'd be willing to do what? Throw it away? And then she's saying, you know, don't compare me again. Don't compare me to another woman. And yeah, that's what guys don't get. We both need to work towards keeping things fun in the relationship. The onus is not just on the woman, and it's not just on the guy. We both need to be fun together. What are fun things that you want to do? Fun things I want to do. Fun things we can do together. Let's take some time apart. Let's come back together. You know, miss each other a little bit and stuff like that. But then again, don't compare your girl. And then Alexa said, you know, if you don't show romance, you can't get it out of me. So no, that's what I'm saying. He's probably not showing the romance, because on this date, Kai was doing all the talking. Like, it seemed like she was the one pursuing him. She was the one putting herself out there. She was the one that mentioned about the kiss and blah 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 and stuff like that. You know, so I guess that made him feel good. Like, she was kind of stroking his ego, asking him questions, you know, flirting a little bit, and that's what he wants to hear. And Dr. Nicole said, you know, the worst part is, like, do you want to hear your partner's experiences on these days? And the real answer is probably no. You don't want to hear how much of a good time or how much of a fantastic time and how fun the day was. If it was fun, nobody wants to hear that. So Eric is talking about his date with Shamara, and he said, you know, let me take a deep breath. He said that she's very pretty, and he said, you know, they were having good conversation. And he said, you know, that conversation, it was easy flowing. And he said, you know, with him and Jessica, they have a good conversation, basically, when she's loosened up a bit by having a drink. Maybe a drink or two. But he said overall, the date was cool with Shamara. And then he said, you know, if he was a single man, that, you know, they would have went on for the entire night and had more conversation. And come back the next morning. So we're seeing Jessica's face, and she's not too pleased. She's like, come back where the next morning? But he did say if he was single though. So he said he had a great time. And Jessica said she feel like Eric's mind is always thinking about sex. That's where his mind is all the time. And so Dr. Nicole asked if that's what she thinks that Eric is about, just having sex with any female. And she said yeah, because she said within the first year of their relationship, he was being a hoe, I guess, as he mentioned to Shamara, that, you know, he had multiple girls. And so she said that if they don't work out, like, he's not going to get into a relationship. He's going to just think about just smashing and smashing and smashing. That's what she says he's going to be thinking about. He never said that, though. So Eric says that, you know, Jessica is just placing her own interpretation. She's not listening to what he's really saying. And so Dr. Nicole is asking her, like, if she thinks that's true, if she thinks that the fear that she has is that he doesn't want to build a relationship with her. More so, he wants to just smash any female that's out there. I'll see her getting a bit emotional, and I think she's gonna agree with that. And in her confessional, she's saying that she knows she knows her man, and she said, she knows what he thinks. And Eric is saying that he thinks Jessica's love is rooted in fear. But I mean, if that's how the relationship started out, with cheating and hoes and not being secure, I mean, hopefully, well, I'm guessing he didn't state that he was with multiple girls, because if he did state, then there's no need for her to be jealous if she stayed. But that sort of thing, like when you stay in these relationships after somebody's cheated, you have to know if whether you can put up with it or if you cannot put up with it. Like if you cannot put up with the in your brain, the feeling that you're getting, like just leave. That's the best thing for you and for the person, because you're gonna always probably making that person like, are you cheating, even if they're not cheating, then you are not getting that peace that you need, that the person is not cheating. And he said he just wants her to stop saying, oh, I'm afraid of losing you, and just says, I want to enjoy the rest of my life with you. But I feel like she needs to work on herself, honestly. Like she needs to get to that point where she feels like he's not cheating, and hopefully he's not. So she needs to get to that, probably, speak to her, as Dr. Nicole is here to help him, to speak through it and to help her to get to that point where she's not so fearful, where she can feel free to let go and think that they can be happy. So that's what I think she needs to do. I want to let you guys hear what Dr. Nicole has to say here about them.
Responsible in making sure that you're managing what you feel instead of thinking that you have the power to turn it into a fact just because that's going to help you explain what you feel.
Right, and that's true. So like she's going to meditate and say, oh, he's going to cheat, and then everything he does, like that's what she's thinking he's doing. If he comes home 5 minutes later, she's going to be like, oh, you're cheating. Or if he's probably going to the I don't know, into the bathroom and it's so, oh, you're cheating. I'm not saying that he's not, but if he's doing that, what I'm just saying, like, every simple thing he might do, she might say, oh, that's cheating, and then try to build that up, and then that's just going to eat at her. She needs to, as I said, probably get help to deal with that, or just exit the relationship, in my opinion, and heal before she goes into the next relationship, because then she's going to bring that same feeling over into her new relationship. And so we're on to Shauna and LaRonda. He's talking about his day with Rachel, and Dr. Nicole said, what do you learn about yourself? And he said, he's learning that he can trust himself around other women and have normal conversations that don't lead to other things. And he says he's learning he can trust himself. LaRonda said, she's never really been a jealous type, but when Rachel showed up yesterday, it was a bit hard for her, because remember, she was the one hugging now. Sean and LaRonda seems like the more stable couple, even though he's trying to talk about he needs to get his finances together before they can get married, which, I mean, when are you ever going to get your finances together? In my honest opinion. Let's see. So Eric says, okay, this is where they decide if they want to go on a second date, and Eric says he does not want to go on a second date with Shamara. We see how Jessica is lighting up and he said he doesn't want to go on a second date. We see where she was a bit emotional a few moments ago with that fear, but now she's relaxed, honey. And so Sean now has to decide he wants to go on a second date with Rachel. And he says no. And his reason is she's almost too perfect. And he doesn't want to mess up anything. I guess saying he knows that, if they possibly continue dating, it could go somewhere, and he doesn't want to jeopardize what he already has. He's a good guy. I tell you, I'm gonna like this guy. Lorana seems very secure. She said, I would think if she's almost perfect that you'd want to pursue her. And then Shawnee's like, look, the thing is not your decision to decide. Okay, we're gonna listen to what Darian has to say. And this is what I'm saying. He's giving me, I really don't know what he's giving me, but he's giving me something that I don't like. It's his turn, and listen to what he's gonna say.
Second date with her, or would you like to go out with someone new?
This situation.
So guys, listen to what he's about to say. He's gonna go around this long, like an hour. I'm joking, I'm stretching it. He's probably gonna talk for like 2-3 minutes before saying yes or no if he wants to go out with Kai again.
It's very, very frightening for me, even though I had a lot of fun. You said we have to shake up the situation and we want to get honest results. And if going on a date...
Guys, like, what is he even saying? What is he even saying? Like, he's going around in circles, and listen, he's still not done.
The right thing to do.
What's right is what's authentic to you. If Darian goes on a second, Kai, one more date.
His girlfriend, what's her name? Alexa is saying that, you know, if he chooses to go on a second date, like, that would be completely disrespectful to her. But at the same time, I feel like that's his choice to make. And then, you know if you're secure in your relationship right now. Because in last season, we saw Shay and Mike, and he went on multiple dates with Whitney, I think her name was. And he, he chose the best, even though he went on a third date with her. In the end, he chose Shay. And we see that they're getting married soon, actually. Because I've seen their Instagram. They're getting married in October. But I feel like with this guy, though, he's going to go on a second date with Kai. Darian is going to go on a second date with Kai, in my opinion. And so, Alexa is saying that if he's truly considering her feelings, that he would not go on a second date. But in this situation, do you fully consider your partner's feeling, or do you consider your own feelings first about these first and second and third dates? Like, what do you guys think? And this is why I would never sign up for this show, because one, I know I would never be comfortable with my partner going on a date, first of all. Second of all, if he's going on second or third dates, I won't be as that comfortable at all. And so that would just not be for me. We just sit and we discuss, are we going to move forward, or we're going to break up, what is best for us, and we decide. I don't think we really, and you know what, there's nothing wrong with seeing a therapist, but that's definitely not doing it on TV. And I feel like some of the time when we seek outside help from somebody else, they make the picture clearer sometimes, where you see, where you probably see, do you really want to move forward with this guy? And the guy says, does he really want to move forward with you? What's really blocking you guys from getting married? And what's stopping him from deciding if you're the one? What's stopping him from deciding to propose? Are you guys going to move forward, or are you guys going to end it? And you guys decide from there. That's my opinion. I'm looking forward to watching the rest of the season. I feel like he's going to go on a second date with Kai, and she's going to continue pursuing him rather than him doing the pursuing. And so it's going to be harder for him, and he's going to fall into that trap. Is he going to choose her? I don't know. But I feel like he's going to kind of fall into a trap. And, he's going to hold her hands, and they're probably going to kiss. But I don't know, though. I feel like Sean is definitely respectable to his lady. I like that. I'm not so sure about Eric. I feel like he's but he kind of knows his boundaries. And then at some point he kind of doesn't. But we'll see how this goes. Let's see. Alright, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next episode.